Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and welcome to episode 31 of In the Red Corner. It's all happening. Footy's back.
Hey!
The welterweight division is looking interesting again.
Hey!
Liverpool won. And Taito Avasa is fighting this weekend.
Hey!
Oh, yeah. To break it all down with us, I'm joined, as always, by the captain, Mr. Grant Winstanley. And we're also got a special guest today. We're joined by Little Ray. Little Ray.
Little Ray himself.
Do you want to tell us how this came about?
So, I'll briefly glance over it, but basically we was at Leonard's House of Love on Sunday. Shout out to Leonard's. Fixation were doing a free beer promotion, which sounded too good to be true. So we had a drop of the fine Little Ray, and then we competed in the red corner first. We battled it out for Cornhole.
Yeah.
And who won? Got the 4-pack. This guy right here, the postman, always delivers. 11-10 game of Cornhole.
It was a very good game. It was close.
It was shot for shot, wasn't it?
I nearly balled it at the end as well.
I know.
That last one.
So...
Came through in the clinch though.
Yeah. Now, we did promise the guys that we wouldn't share them. However... I think
in the spirit of the red corner.
In the spirit of the red corner.
We'll share
and
it.
such a fantastic beer. We've got to have a beer, surely.
We were ahead of the game on this one. Because they were at St Kilda Beer Fest, weren't they?
Yeah.
The guys were surprised that we'd actually already had it.
Yeah.
We don't need your spiel.
Yeah,
you don't need to sell it to me, mate.
Exactly. We've written the book on Little Ray.
But yeah, shout out to Fixation. Thank you for allowing me to win these. Cheers, mate.
Cheers, mate.
It's a good tipple, actually.
Yeah.
It's like really good.
Very well deserved.
Right. Opening question.
Go on.
It's a bit of a trip down memory lane for you.
Oh, yeah?
Where were you Sunday, the 10th of February, 2019?
Sunday, the 10th
Drift
of
back.
February.
Where were you? Sunday, the 10th of February, 2019. I'll give you a hint. We were together.
Oh, I will say the UFC Melbourne card
Can you remember the number?
Oh.
It's a test for you.
252?
Nah, too late.
Oh.
Lower.
243?
No, you got the right numbers though.
234?
234.
234?
UFC 234. Rod Laver Arena.
Yeah.
Supposed to be
Whittaker versus Gastelum.
Kevin Gastelum.
But then hernia surgery.
Would you remember? Because we were literally on the way. I think we were coming separately, but we were on the way to the stadium when the news broke.
Yeah.
Texting each other, being like,
"He's out."
Main event. It's off the card.
Yeah. And there was offering us full refunds.
Oh yeah, they were.
But we were like, we've been waiting for this thing for
it's no way
so long.
Yeah.
We're gonna watch.
Wasn't that strong of a card either? If you look back now.
Thank God. They had Izzy and Anderson Silva as the co-main.
Yeah, I know, because it would have been a full-up otherwise.
Because what would they have done otherwise?
I can't even remember who else. I'll have to go back and have a look who was on the card.
Megan Anderson, probably.
Megan Anderson, 40. It was all like the Aussies, wasn't it? Jimmy Crew,
Right.
Jake Matthews. Oh, yeah, it was when Smiling Sam Alvey card, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah.
And
then obviously...
wasn't strong, though. Like,
No.
there's some names on there that you know now, but at the time, there wasn't any huge names on it.
Exactly, and then that got stripped, and then that was pulled.
Do you remember watching, because at that time as well, and I've probably got a bit of a different opinion of him now, but Kelvin Gastelum at the time was being a right douche, wasn't he, when he was walking around
with the belt,
cage side with the belt, and we were like, take that off, mate.
Yeah, no.
He was sat with like Cejudo and who else? Was that the one that Cowboy came to? And he was doing all the shenanigans.
Yes.
Yeah, right.
Yes, and there was a female, Joanna? No? Wasn't there a female here?
I can't think of... Yeah, you're right, but I can't think who. Wasn't that Jessica Rose Clark, was it?
Maybe.
Might have been her.
Yeah.
I know she wasn't fighting.
Yeah, but...
yeah, I think it was her.
And now it's come full circle, right?
Full circle. Well, that's why I wanted to bring it up, because Paulo Costa's dropped out of the April 17th card. Supposed to fight Whittaker. So I was looking forward to. I've got no time for Costa, though.
I don't.
I'm happy he's falling off. Full of shit. I don't know what...
He's fallen into Deontay Wilder territory where he goes, mate, just take the loss on the chin.
Yeah, he's just gone a bit mad, hasn't he?
What is it?
When he was talking about he was drinking the night before and he was
hungover. He's doing that anyway?
No, you know you weren't. There's no fucking way.
There's no way. And if we're going to go down that route, I reckon Izzy could get drunk the night before and he's still bash it.
Yeah. He had all the promise, and he's built like a brick shit house, but Yeah, he's teetering on the edge here where you're suddenly going to fall into... Just take it on the chin. You've got to learn to take your losses better.
Exactly. And it's because there's no secret. You talk about Deontay Wilder, you talk about Paulo Costa. They always have these sham excuses when it's the undefeated streak that goes. It's like,
massively.
It's like they've never experienced it before, and the ego can't process that they've lost.
And some people lose better than others, don't they?
Exactly.
There's people like Connor that you bring up a lot, but he loses well, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Izzy lost really well at the weekend.
Yeah.
Take it on the chin. You doesn't have to be. You don't have to see it as a loss, but you accept.
Yeah.
You be humble about it and whatever. Yeah, he's not dealt with this well. Anyway, not to dwell on him, but now we get to see the Gastelum Whittaker fight that we didn't see 3 years ago. And it's interesting because Whittaker now, you would think he's in a better place than he was then, physically, mentally as well. Gastelum is lucky to get it because he was on a 3-fight skid until he got the close decision win recently.
Yeah.
And it was a close win.
Yeah. Against Ian Heinisch.
But Ian Heinisch, who's not a big name.
No.
But I think he's lucky in the terms of that he was available.
Yeah.
He's in the US, which makes it good right now because not everyone can get there as easily. And there's history there. There's a story. I'm sure there's a lot of people in that middleweight division being like, oh, fuck, how's he jumped the queue? But it's a chance for Gastelum, like he has to jump the queue. A win against Whittaker, you're right in title contention, aren't you, straight away? I don't think he beats Whittaker, if I'm honest.
No.
Not now, anyway. But I mean, I'll watch it. It's interesting, and just having that story there and coming full circle, I thought was pretty cool.
Yeah, for sure. And when the news broke, you would have saw on my Twitter timeline
the commish.
I'm the new commissioner. Sorry, Nick Peets, but I called it off the bat, and I got a bit of heat for it from a couple of people.
Did you?
Some people were saying it's not going to be Whittaker, like it's not going to be Gastelum. I can't see that, and it's like, nah, that's. And I was like, well, what else makes? And someone said about the rankings, and I went, Leon Edwards
doesn't mean anything.
And it was 3 versus 13.
Yeah. The story's more important.
Yeah, Gastelum's in the win column.
Yeah.
First of all, like you said, it's United States. He's just fought recently, came relatively unscathed in the grand scheme of it in terms of damage.
He didn't really get. Yeah.
So it's kind of like, well, and everybody else is matched up.
Yeah.
You can't do Cannonier because Whittaker flogged him.
Yeah.
Everybody else is matched up, and he's sitting at number 8.
Yeah.
You can't give it Hermansen because he lost to Vittori.
Yep.
So you're going to give it to?
Yeah.
So it's like, and they obviously like that fight to put it as the main event for an international pay-per-view.
Yep.
And there was a story because they were the 2 Ultimate Fighter coaches against each other.
There's a history there.
So it's like, why wouldn't they?
The only other person that could have given it to, and the timing didn't work out, but if this had broke about a week later and Kevin Holland beats Brunson this weekend, Kevin Holland would have got that fight. It just happened too soon because you can't give it him now, not knowing whether he's won or lost.
Yeah. That's a bit like the Khamzat Chimaev when he had that fight. Do you remember booked with Damien Meyer and the whole thing of like, so you think...
Yeah, you're getting too ahead. And that, sometimes it bites you in the arse, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Because that's, I mean, we'll talk about it after, but it's a tough outing for Kevin Holland at the weekend. I'm sure, if it had happened a week later and Kevin Holland had won, I guarantee he'd have got that fight above Gastelum. That's the only person, though, that would have got it, I think.
Do you think they would have... Do you think if Brunson would have won? As in, do you think if Brunson beats Holland and it was a week later, do you think they would have done Brunson?
Probably not, to be honest with you. Because they've fought, haven't they?
Yeah.
Probably not.
No.
But maybe. I think you'd have probably gone to Gastelum then.
Yeah.
But I think if Holland had won, just because of Holland, his personality, the rise that he's on, he'd have got that, I think.
Yeah.
But anyway, it is what it is. And April 17th, I'm just glad we're still seeing Whittaker fight because I just want to see him keep active, really. UFC, there's loads going on in the UFC at the minute, and I thought we'd focus a bit more on the news than the actual cards like we usually do. The welterweight division suddenly gets really interesting. Obviously, we had Leon and Bilal at the weekend. Did you catch up with the fight? Yeah.
Yeah.
What did you think of it? Before the eye poke?
A comfortable round 1 for me for Leon. That there's the head kick and different things. And Michael Bisping actually spoke about it in commentary, and it was bang on. And he said every kind of punch, every connection Leon's making is like powerful, and it could be Bilal's
doing
struggling damage. But everyone that kind of Bilal caught him with, it was kind of just shaking it off, and that clearly shown there is that top 3 to top 13 difference.
Massive, yeah. I completely agree. Yeah. I thought, and it ended not in the way we wanted with the eye poke and stuff, but Leon was winning that fight.
Yeah,
He easily.
Yeah.
He was, and he showed how crisp his striking is, how good he's good everywhere, isn't he? He's very, very good everywhere.
Yeah.
And now, like, in the aftermath of it, do you think he should get the rematch?
So, I don't know whether you saw what I said on Twitter.
I don't know if I saw that one.
What they should do with Leon Edwards next.
Go on, tell me what should they do with him?
They have to do Leon versus Colby as the tough coaches.
Well, I was going to ask you this later, whether that, but okay. Would you do? So the only reason I wouldn't do that is because Leon Edwards has got the personality of a wet mop. Mm-hmm. I don't know if he's that, but I do like it in terms of the competitiveness.
But the reason why I say that is the end goal is you're going to get the winner of Usman Masvidal. So in terms of the story of where it fits in the picture, you can build the story to say you're getting the next title shot.
Makes sense.
Type of thing.
Makes sense.
But in my history watching The Ultimate Fighter, there's always the antagonist.
Yeah, I suppose it
versus the dull mop.
Yeah.
Versus
I'm being harsh on Leon there, but you know what I mean.
It's in the mild-mannered.
Yeah.
Mild-mannered other fighter.
Yeah.
It's always been...
Someone's got to take the lead.
Yeah, it's always Koscheck, GSP.
Yeah.
It's always, there is always that, Rampage, Rashad. Not so much because they were
Conor
two
do with
characters.
Faber. Conor Faber.
Yeah, Conor Faber.
It's a good example, yeah.
So it's kind of always people... Like Cormier, Miocic. Miocic, no personality.
Yeah.
DC likes to stir it up.
Yeah.
So Leon's perfect opponent is Colby will want to get a reaction from Leon.
Oh, massive,
and what I would argue is this is perfect for Leon Edwards because you're getting exposure to the US
and he
market.
needs it massively.
So what better way to build you? So I think it has to happen.
Yeah. Is there anyone else you would give it to at this point? If not them? Because the other thing we were going to come on to was obviously the Usman Masvidal, and we'll talk about that in a minute. We thought that was going to be the Ultimate Fighter coaches, and obviously now that's, for whatever reason, maybe it's because he needed a big event to launch with fans again, which is great. They've brought that forward.
Yeah.
Well, maybe they're not brought it forward, but it's happening now sooner than we thought it was. So then that leaves you with the tough coaches, and Leon Colby's a good one.
Till Vittori. I'm just going off the personality.
But they're fighting soon, aren't they?
Yeah, that's what I mean. But it's supposed to be in April, isn't it? Isn't it supposed to be?
Oh, I thought they were doing it later. The tough.
But when's Usman Masvidal?
April.
Oh, is it? Oh,
yeah.
okay.
Yeah, it's really soon.
Oh, all right. So they want it later then?
I think the Ultimate Fighter is only taking place in the summer, isn't it?
Right, okay.
Usman Masvidal's at the end of April.
Oh, okay.
I think Till might be the week before.
Oh, okay. So they want someone for May, June.
We're going to need someone like May, June.
Right, okay.
Yeah. I keep mentioning his bloody name. Conor Poirier. Does that become your tough coaches? They're a bit too nice though now.
I know, and Connor's
I don't know how you change.
Connor's already done it recently.
No, it's not that recent.
Well, not
I was just racking my brain to be like, who else is there? They're going to need someone else now. Maybe it's the heavyweights. Do they wait and see what happens with Ngannou and Stipe, and then winner of that and Jones? Well, yeah, or Jones and Ngannou would be amazing because you've got all these really good young African fighters coming through. Maybe you'd have a Team Africa against Team America. There's narratives there.
Yeah.
I don't know. It'd be interesting. I don't know where they go with it.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to think who's available and he's probably going to fight around that time or later in the year. Who's got an interesting story, interesting personality. Don't know. Jones and Ngannou could be fun. But you're relying on Ngannou to beat Stipe.
Yeah.
Which, who knows? But yeah, Team Africa versus Team America would be pretty cool, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
I don't know. The Conor Poirier one seems obvious, but I don't know how you turn it around because they're too nice now.
Yeah, exactly.
They're all buddy and that's not going to sell, is it? Or maybe Conor does. I don't know.
Yeah.
I guess we'll see on that one.
Yeah.
But yeah, back to the welterweights. So the only other person I was thinking for Wonderboy, it's not Wonderboy, got ahead of myself, for Leon, is Wonderboy. So Wonderboy's been a bit more vocal now, and him and Leon would be a great fight. Wonderboy and Colby would be a great fight. I don't know what they've got in mind for Colby. I don't really know. He's gone a little bit quiet on calling people out, hasn't he? Like, it's almost like he doesn't want it. He doesn't want Leon or Wonderboy. But unfortunately, he's going to have to fight one of them, I think.
Wonderboy's not going to be happy about it. But I would rather Leon Colby, Bilal Muhammad, Wonderboy.
But yeah,
But he won't accept.
Wonderboy's look good recently. He's on like a massive. He's on a bit of a tear, isn't he? He's probably only got one more shot at the title. He's been there with Woodley. But we know what happens when Wonderboy fights real good wrestlers. He gets nullified a little bit. Wonderboy's obviously good from range. Him and Leon would be a quality scrap.
Stand up.
That would be amazing. No, yeah, neither of those are going to wrestle.
Yeah,
I don't think.
I'd like that fight.
That would be awesome next. It depends what they're going to do. Woodley and Leon is the it's the one to make. I just don't know. I don't know if that's what they're going to do.
Going back to Bilal, how bad was that eye poke? The fact that you've got, never mind, I wouldn't even say you've got a grown man screaming, right?
Yeah.
It's an MMA fighter.
Yeah, right.
Screaming and then breaking down hysterically in tears.
I think he panicked because he couldn't see.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know if it was the pain. I think he just was like, oh my God, I'm blind.
So
yeah,
that just shows you how kind of scary and how
for sure. They need to do something about those gloves, don't they? There's a bit more movement now. It's happening too often, isn't it? And it's cancelling fights way too often.
Then if anybody tuned into the Trevor Whitman podcast with Justin Gaethje and Joe Rogan, they need Trevor Whitman to be rolling out all his
what do they call
gear.
it? Onyx.
Yeah, I think it was Onyx.
Onyx. Right.
Yeah, they need to get
I wonder,
Trevor Whitman.
I saw someone mention the other day. Yeah, well, that's what I was going to say. The Venom deal's about to start, and I wonder if that with that they roll out some new gloves. But it's costing them way too many fights, isn't it, at the minute? Which is not great. But yeah, I see where Bilal's coming from, but for me, I saw enough in that fight to know that I don't really need to see the rematch. I think Leon needs to go and fight somebody else.
It was a bit like Masvidal Diaz, where I was always a big advocate. I don't want to see it again. I saw enough from Masvidal to go. Masvidal was flogging.
Well, Masvidal as well. So now they've announced the Masvidal Usman fight for the welterweight championship. It's way sooner than we thought. I thought we might get that June, July after TUF. It's happening in April. I think they brought it forward because they needed a big fight to open Florida with the fans, whatever, it's like 15,000 fans or whatever. So they brought this forward. Now, Masvidal must know something I don't, and whether he's been, he's obviously been training hard, I'm guessing he was told a while ago that you're getting that next fight. So he's been training for it specifically, and he's been in there with him before. So he's felt Usman. He's got the feel. But do you see it going any different after having just watched Usman recently?
No.
Neither do I, and I don't know why there's so much hype about it. It's like what we've just said. I don't need to see it. I feel like I don't need to see it again. I know he came in on short notice last time, and he dug them out the shit on Fight Island, and he was aggressive. But at the same, but Usman did exactly what everyone thought he was going to do.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I just don't think there's been enough time to do anything different.
No.
Now, what we did see in the Burns fight is that if you crack him, his chin's a bit susceptible.
Yeah.
Okay, but I'd say Burns probably hits harder than Masvidal does.
Yeah.
I'd say.
Yeah.
So I don't. I'm not buying into the hype so much. I haven't seen anything to tell me it goes any different.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Yeah, no, you're right. It's that excuse of the fight camp, and I didn't have a full camp, so that's kind of thing. A bit like the Conor when he has the excuse where inactivity or the leg kick, and you go, okay, all right, we'll give you the leg kick thing, we'll give you inactivity.
Yep.
But next time out, there's nothing. You can't say anything.
There's no other excuses.
So again, that's been taken. So they've done this fight. Obviously, they've done it because pay-per-view numbers were off the chart, so obviously it did well business-wise. But I agree, it doesn't go any other way. Yes, Masvidal's got the excuse of full fight camp, but Usman is now with Trevor Whitman. And in my opinion...
Dangerous prospect, eh?
In my opinion, Usman with Trevor Whitman is unstoppable, in my opinion.
He's good everywhere, isn't he? I don't see the path. I don't see the path for Masvidal, really. I don't know what would his game plan be? What's he gonna do that's gonna trouble Usman? Aside from, you're gonna have to be real active, like the movement in and out, jab, get out of range. Don't let him get hold of you. It's easier said than done.
And it's got to, and it's probably gonna have to be something special, i.e., flying knee, or something that he's obviously seen some. If he can find any hole, and he goes right, I engage, and then there's some sort of whether they throw, he throws like a hook or he does something and Masvidal goes bang.
Yeah.
But it's got to be something that's, a million to one.
Yeah, because it's mad, isn't it? Because people will say,
catch him.
Or Masvidal will say, I've been in there now, I felt him, like, I know what I need to do. And I'm like, right, I don't know what that is, but right. Now, there's two ways you can look at it, and it's either he has seen something, and, his fight knowledge and his fight camp, maybe he's seen something. An American top team, they've got, again, great coaches. They might find a game plan, find a way in for him, something that Masvidal's trained specifically for a long time.
Yeah.
Or maybe he's just being like, it's a massive payday. I'll say that. I'm probably going to lose. Maybe that's why he looks at it. I don't know. Sometimes you can go into a fight knowing, I'm going to lose this.
Yeah, exactly.
I'll front it. I'll say that I've got a way in. I'll have a good crack. But I won't be too disappointed if I lose because I'm not that surprised.
Exactly.
Like he's got my number.
And
Maybe.
Exactly. And like you say, you can say that and say, I've been in there with him once, I know what to expect. That's fine. But, you ask any opponent that's fought Khabib, that's been there and again, and you say, do you want to do it again? And
It's the same with Conor, isn't it?
Yeah, and you go...
Yeah,
it's like Conor, and you go...
Well, Conor's like, fight him again, and he's seen something, and and he's got the million excuses about he was drinking too much whiskey, he was in shape, mentally not there, but it's like...
But it's still Khabib.
Still Khabib, and you know that, Conor.
Yeah.
Are you just saying that because it's a massive fight, and if you lose, people are still like, well, it was Khabib, so it's not that bad.
Yeah.
But you can't go in saying that. You can't go in being like, probably going to lose this. Because no one's going to... you've got to build it, and I think that's probably what Masvidal's doing here, is like, I've got his number, I've seen it now, I know what I'm doing. Same thing happens again. And no one's surprised, but then everyone's like, well, Masvidal's a good go, but Usman's the best.
Yeah.
I guess we'll see. I think it's April 24th, but I might be telling you lies there. I can't remember. It's a great card, though.
Yeah. We thought this was going to be the whole Singapore thing, didn't we, in terms of...
Yes, it was that card,
And then now that's moved to Florida with a full crowd, which is great to see that back, of course, get back to normality.
Yep.
And
bit risky in America still.
Exactly. Well,
anyway.
Just crack
That's
on.
another story, isn't it?
Exactly. Go to the Winchester and let it all blow over. And then you've got the two women title
So who's
defences.
co-main?
So co-main is Zhang
and Rose. Yeah, that's probably right.
And then Shevchenko and Drash. Fantastic.
Yeah.
And you can guarantee that whoever they'll get on the main card, it's going to be stacked. It's going to be stacked.
It'll be a great card. Yeah, I think it's April 24th. So we'll talk about that more later as we get a bit closer. But anyway, this weekend, Derek Brunson and Kevin Holland. It's not a great card, but there's a few names on there that are worth mentioning. That one's great because it's quite an interesting fight, isn't it? I feel like they're about the same space. It's probably the right fight to make. There's a bit of needle between them anyway. But Kevin Holland, meteoric rise, looked amazing. What he did to Jacare Souza, like you're in amongst the top bunch in that division, in what is a very tough division. Derek Brunson he's seen as the gatekeeper, isn't he? The perennial gatekeeper, but he doesn't want that title anymore. And he shot down Edmund Shabazian, who I've never heard of since. Is he still alive? Do we know Edmund? Edmund, text in if you're still alive. And he's put a few wins together. Now this is his chance again to be like, I'm not being the gatekeeper to the top 5. It's your run stops with me. How do you see this fight going? Who do you favour there?
The more that I think about it, I'm actually going with Brunson.
Oh, okay, right.
Because, like you just said there with Shabazian, he's built up this character of recent times, of the chip on the shoulder.
Oh, massively.
And it's, the up-and-comer can get past.
Yep.
Like you say, the gatekeeper, I'm just the
He was a
you pass me
gatekeeper.
by, he shoots down Shabazian, and I just think, on the back of that, his confidence will be sky high. Everyone's talking about Holland, like you said earlier. If Holland wins, he could have got the Whittaker if it was delayed. And Brunson's like, well, they want to give it me. I'm getting overlooked, so I'm going to stop.
Yeah,
I'm going to derail the Holland hype train, because I didn't expect him to do what he did to Shabazian.
Yep.
And I was so impressed with him last time out that I'm like, you're only as good as your last fight.
He's another one who's solid. He's solid everywhere, isn't he?
Yeah.
Good. Obviously, he's got a wrestling base. So is Kevin Holland.
Yeah. But I do like Kevin Holland, that's the thing.
I'm backing Kevin Holland.
Yeah.
I underestimate Kevin Holland every time.
Yeah.
He doesn't look like he should be as good as he is.
Yeah.
And
great personality.
He's got the full package. He's just got to keep racking these wins up.
Yeah.
I'm backing Kevin Holland. I think, like I said, I've underrated him every time because he doesn't look like he should be dominant in a middleweight division. But he surprises me, and he's got a ridiculous... What he did to Jacare is ridiculous.
No, it is ridiculous.
And what he did last year was ridiculous altogether.
5 wins in 270 days.
Something mad like that, yeah. And I can't back against him in this one. I think he'll get it done. And I actually think he'll get it done quite quickly as well. I think he might go in there supremely confident and blow Derek Brunson away. I think it might be a TKO stoppage fairly early on. And then he'll be calling out the top names in that division. He deserves a place in that top 5, without doubt, if he gets over Brunson. Co-main on that card is... So,
I'll go Brunson. I'll go Brunson decision.
Right, cool. He's going to drag him into D-Water.
Just the veteran...
5 rounds. I don't think Kevin Holland's done 5 rounds yet.
I think it's going to be a veteran display.
Right.
Of, just do as much, do just enough to win each round type of thing.
Cool, okay. I think it'll be a good scrap either way. Co-main, someone we've not seen for ages. Gregor Gillespie.
Another one that's just woke up.
Yeah. He literally just woke up, yeah. Him and Shabazian have been having a kip. We haven't seen... You last fought Kevin Lee. I don't even know when it was. It was bloody ages ago.
End of 2019.
The end of 2019. I haven't seen Kevin Lee in... Yeah.
You know where we watched that?
End of 2019. Sporting Globe? No.
Yeah.
Was it?
Mordy.
The Mordy Sporting Globe?
Yeah.
So was that just before the boxing... Canelo? It was a Canelo fight on one there? Yeah, right, cool. Because that was a surprise, wasn't it? Everyone was really high on Gregor Gillespie, and we were a bit like... it was Kelvin Holland's return, I think, to that weight class. Yeah. To... was he at? 55? Yeah, 55.
Lightweight, yeah.
And head kick knockout, it was vicious, wasn't it?
Oh, no.
Now, this fight's interesting because Gregor Gillespie, even though he's a renowned wrestler, that's what he's kind of known for. You know, when he was on a bit of a tour, they were talking Khabib, weren't they, all of a sudden? Whereas Brad Riddell, again, he's only fought in the UFC, I think, 3 times. Every single one of them has been an absolute war. Yeah. He's got unbelievably entertaining, and that's why he's getting these big fights now. He's a kickboxer. Even though Gillespie is a wrestler, all his wins have come by KO or TKO. So I think, again, this is going to be another barnstorming fight, I think. Gillespie's got something to prove. Riddell, anyone coming from that city kickboxer at the minute, you cannot count out. Yeah. They've got the toughness, they've got the kickboxing, Muay Thai skills. What do you reckon?
Well, one thing I will say, and I don't know this, by the way, is Eugene Berman still in America?
Nope, he's not going to be there in the corner, as far as I know.
That's a big factor.
Massive, yeah.
So I was thinking, because obviously Izzy's in quarantine, so I'm like...
Well, I don't know why I didn't stay. I think the mix in the camps with Volkanovski fights the week after.
Yeah, okay.
So Volkanovski's there now.
Right.
So I imagine he'll have what's his name? Joe Lopez. The Aussie bloke.
Yeah.
Joe Lopez. I imagine he'll be in the corner.
Yeah.
I don't know who with, or maybe with Volk.
Yeah.
I don't know. But yeah, Bergman's out there. Which is a factor.
Yeah. This is a tough one to call because we haven't seen Gregor Gillespie. And a brutal head kick like that. Yeah. I mean, you don't really... You can say you can shake it off and get better, but you kind of never forget that, do you? No.
DC said that recently, didn't he? You remember them.
Exactly, and it's kind of like, does that affect stand-up? You know, in terms of do you kind of leave yourself as open?
Yeah.
Are you reserved in your approach a little bit, or?
Be interesting, won't it? Like we've seen Riddell fight a few times. You remember the Jamie Malarkey fight in Melbourne was incredible, and he's not so much. I don't think he's so much a knockout artist, but he's like he's like death by 1,000 cuts, isn't he? He'll chop you to bits, leg kicks, strikes. Like, Ray's got to him. Little Ray strikes again.
Sorry about that. Wrong goal. Anyway, he doesn't give you a minute. He does not.
Right there. Shall I keep talking for a bit while you recover?
Yeah, you keep talking. Brad does not give you a minute.
No, you're right. And every time I've seen him fight, I've been more and more impressed with him. Yeah. I wasn't sure how he'd go in the UFC because he did. Ray has ruined you on that. Absolute shambles with Ray. Yeah. Every time I've seen him in the UFC, he's not blowing you away in terms of his. You know, he's not finishing fights. I don't think. I think generally he wins by decision, but he's impressive in his toughness. He's got like city kick. He's everything city kickboxing embodies. He's a smart, really quality striker. I think he's one of like the striking coaches that they use, and he's always in Adesanya's camp. He's always in Volkanovski's camp. So he's got those striking smarts. Yeah. It's where I think it'll be a test of his takedown defense. Yeah. Because I imagine Gillespie's going to want to take this to the floor. You're not going to want to stand up with a striker with his acumen, I imagine. Mm-hmm. So Gillespie, when you're coming off a head kick knockout, how do you avoid that? Yeah. You spend your time on the ground mainly. So I imagine Gillespie's going to come in and be like, I'm making this a wrestling match. Yeah. And can Brad Riddell resist that? Yeah. We'll find out, I think. I think I will back Brad Riddell.
Yeah, I will as well.
But it's very unknown because we don't know what state Gillespie's coming back in. But I imagine it'll be, Riddell's not in bad fights. Yeah. So we'll see on that one.
Yeah, that could be fight of the night contender probably.
I reckon fight of the night.
Yeah, I'll go with Brad as well.
Yeah. 2 more fights I wanted to... Hang on, I'm choking on Ray here. I'm good. Two more fights I want to mention. First one is fucking Ray.
It's so delicious that I'm drinking it too quickly. That's what it is.
I'm starting to worry about Ray.
I know. It's like, da, 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 da.
Two more fights I want to mention. Tai Tuivasa. He would be drinking Ray from his shoe if he wins on Sunday.
He will.
He's fighting, and what's his name down? Dontale Mays. Now, when I looked at the records and where this fight, it's like fourth on the main card. I don't know how.
Yeah, right.
Fourth on the main card, which either tells me they don't think much of Tai Tuivasa because he's fighting. If you look at Dontale Mays' record, it's not great.
Yeah.
Or the building up Tai Tuivasa. They are setting him up for a win. And I might eat my words here if he gets beat Tai, because he's let me down in the past.
Yeah.
We love him. He's entertaining. He's an Aussie boy.
Yeah.
But we've often questioned his work ethic.
His
commitment to it. His all-roundedness as a martial artist. He seems to have one fucking game plan. And if that goes to, i.e. Sergey Spivak, who's a real contender. So we give him one there.
Yeah.
But he had no answer for it.
Yeah.
I think this one, when I look through Dontale Mays' kind of journey, he's been in the Contender Series twice. He lost in his first one, came through the Contender Series in his second attempt, I think. Hasn't really fought anyone apart from Cyril Gane. He fought Cyril Gane, I think, in his UFC debut, which is a bit mad. He lost that fight. For me, this is set up for Tai Tuivasa. He needs to blast him out of there and blast him out of there soon. Dontale Mays' background, I think, is judo. He's not got a massive mixed martial arts background, not a long history there. I think Tuivasa should have enough power and forward momentum to blast him out there like we saw him do to Stefan Struve and we've seen him do before.
Yeah.
But for me, it all comes down to what condition is Tai Tuivasa in.
Exactly.
How seriously is he taking this camp? That's always his biggest downfall. I think it's himself.
Yeah.
Have you looked much into it? Are you excited to see Tai fight again? What do you reckon?
I agree, and I think it's one of them where he has to get him out of round. Tuivasa has to knock him out in round one.
The longer it goes on, the worse it gets for Tai, doesn't it?
Yeah, exactly. And you said, he is his own worst enemy. He's very similar, in my opinion, mentally, to someone like a Nick Kyrgios in the tennis. He beats himself half the time.
Yeah, right.
His head goes or whatever, and I know it's not the same thing, but it's kind of, come on, like.
No, it
you
is.
See glimpses, and then you see something that you go, oh, come on.
And he's got all the tools in terms of the personality. People love him. I love him. Whenever I see him on a card, I'm like, get in.
Yeah.
Like the build-up will be fun. He's going to be fun. And then sometimes he gets in there, like in the Spivak fight, and he was on the ground, and you could just see in his face that he was like, no answer to this.
Yeah.
Can't do anything here.
Yeah.
I'm beat. His head went.
Yeah.
He wants to stand up and scrap, which is great. So we all want to see that. But guess what? Nobody wants to scrap with you, mate.
No.
You've got to have an answer. You've got to have a takedown defense. You've got to have an answer on the ground. And I hope he has been away and worked on that type of stuff.
Yeah.
Or he's just planned on blowing him out of there. But it's a risk, isn't it?
Exactly. And the interesting thing is the timing and all of this as well is with a lot of the city kickboxing lads and your Australians, your New Zealanders, all fighting a similar time. We're talking, you've got the Izzy card, you've got, you've got Whittaker, you've got Volkanovski, fairly soon. That tells me that there must be some sort of, we're in one of the best, we're probably in the best place here in Australia and New Zealand for
later
the whole
this year
COVID stuff. So if they're doing full stadiums now in Florida, they're looking at something going, let's get all these
September, October, once we've vaccinated
all these Anzacs to wins, and let's go.
Big card in Melbourne. It'll be Melbourne.
Hopefully
one day now.
Or maybe New Zealand.
Maybe New Zealand, yeah. But yeah, I agree. And that's where, for me, when I looked at this Dontale Mays, I'm like, they're setting you up to win here, Tai. Don't fuck it up.
Yeah.
Because, you'll be straight back on that card. Probably against a big name as well, which you might well lose. But you'll get a big fight on a big Melbourne card. People love you. They want you there to build that fight and sell the tickets because he's got everything.
Yeah.
I just hope he's prepared for it.
Yeah.
I'll say he'll win.
Yeah, I will. Early.
I've got faith in him. It has to be early, but let's go, Tai.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Round one.
Last one I wanted to mention on the card, our mate, Anthony Birchak. He's getting his second chance, which we spoke about. Well, I don't know when it was now, when he fought. It was a while ago, wasn't it?
It was in...
Probably late last year. We were probably in lockdown, weren't we? So late last year, maybe October.
Yeah, 'cause it was for fight... it wasn't a Fight Island one, but it was Yeah, it was. I think it was. No, it was.
It was in Vegas.
Apex, sorry.
Yeah, but anyway, he was a last minute call up, wasn't he? Been in the UFC before, dropped in and out, bit of an up and down record, but he came in on like a week's notice. Lost fairly quickly.
Yeah. Got choked out.
Yeah, which isn't great for the jiu-jitsu guy.
About a minute.
Yeah, but he was unprepared for it, and I think sometimes like that you do need to give these guys another chance. Give him a full camp, let him know who he's fighting, let him prepare for it, see how he goes. I did write down who he was fighting. Johnny Eduardo, never heard of him. I couldn't get any information of him either. They're opening the prelims, so yeah, it's a chance for him to. I hope he can get a win.
Bounce back.
Yeah, bounce back.
Because we don't want to say it.
You don't get another chance.
You don't get another chance.
No. Talk about fingers crossed. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hopefully, I'm sure we'll speak to Adam about it and see what the prep's been like.
Exactly.
But yeah, someone you've got any loose connection to, you're rooting for him. So I hope he gets a win. I hope he can start to build from it. Just got to start to clean that record up a bit and just start racking the wins up.
And no doubt, Tucson, seems to be Adam's guys and gals in in
10th final at Tucson, right?
Yeah. I think they'll all be around a big screen somewhere cheering him on, and hopefully it's
sure they will.
Gets the win.
Best of luck for him. Let's back him.
Going on.
He's going on the multi.
Yeah. First fight of the night, dangerous.
Yeah. So as soon as that one goes the wrong way, you have to just put it on again straight afterwards.
Yeah.
Awesome. Right, I think that wraps up my UFC
Yeah.
news for today. Next up, Footy's back. The Australian variety, I will point out. First game kicks off tonight in less than an hour before I up and get home. Richmond Carlton always opens the season. We spoke about this week. Why? Why is this the opening game? Yeah. Any Australian mates who watch this are probably shaking their head and being like, these two muppets don't know what they're talking about. But I will embellish on this to say Richmond are dead good. They're really good. And I think it's 9 years it's 9 years of this fixture since Carlton last won one.
Right.
So imagine your opening day of the season, every season, you get drilled by one of the best teams in the comp. Why would you keep doing it?
Yeah, exactly.
I don't understand.
I know.
It's a bit like, I think you said this analogy the other day, it's a bit like Fulham agreeing to play Man City. First game of the season every year.
At Man City.
Yeah, because it's at the J, isn't it, every year? City away, first game of the season. Imagine going through a full pre-season, lads. This is us this year. We're going to kick on. 5-0 defeat, first game of the season.
Exactly.
Head's gone.
Goal difference
is gone. You're at the bottom of the league to start with.
And that's where you stay.
I've never understood it.
No, I've never understood it.
Someone text in.
I know.
Send me a Facebook message. I don't know. Why is this happening?
I don't know.
Who do we know that's Carlton fans? Matt Barry. Let us know.
Exactly.
Anyone else? No, that's it.
No, that's it. I know you've got your hands full with, congratulations on baby Hugo, of course.
Yeah. Shout out to Hugo.
But, mate,
Carlton's newest member.
The In the Red Corner lads come first. You text in and you tell us why Carlton agreed to this fixture.
No idea.
Because I've got a solution for this.
Oh, go on. I like solution focused.
Yeah,
that's good.
And now that I'm the commissioner.
Yeah, commissioner of multi-sport commissioner. Is this what's going on? Okay.
It should be similar to the winners in football of the Charity Shield. It's you've got the FA Cup winners and you've got the Premier League winners. Well, obviously you can't do that in AFL.
Yep.
But it should be a replay of the grand final to open the season. See where both teams are at. We left them at this point.
How'd you go? Have you brought in? Have you youngsters?
Who have you brought in? Where are we at from the new season? And it should always be the grand final. And the winning team gets the home advantage and go, right, where are you at?
Love it. Good work, Commish.
That's where it should be.
Yeah. Our games this weekend, Bombers are at home, Marble Stadium to Hawthorn.
Yeah.
Have you tipped them? Have you got your tips in?
Yep.
You've tipped Bombers?
Yep.
I've tipped Bombers.
Yeah. What I can't understand is obviously we normally play our home games at the G.
Yeah.
Normally.
I've learned something here. There you go.
But we kind of do, obviously we do, G at home, Marvel away. But no one is at the G Saturday night. And Essendon written to the AFL.
It was Collingwood and Bulldogs?
Is that Saturday night?
Sure it is. No, it's Friday night. Sorry. I'm telling you lies.
Friday night?
Yep.
So there's no one at the G on Saturday night.
Right.
So Essendon written to the AFL and said, do you know this all like 50% capacity?
Yeah.
Do you not want this at the G?
Yeah.
As opposed 50%, to Marvel?
Yeah, right. Because it's double almost.
It's 50,000.
Yeah, it's double.
It's full,
Yeah.
and AFL rejected.
Oh shit! Yeah.
So it came out that they rejected Essendon's proposal because they didn't see a proposal. So I don't know how you can reject something that you never received. But anyway. So, I don't like the Hawks because every time I usually watch Essendon Hawks normally turn up in some capacity, usually. So the last couple of games...
Half capacity.
Yeah. So, Essendon, I don't think we'll get top 8 this year, but I'm hopeful. We might just miss... I mean, you can't really be hopeful of just missing out, but it'll be a better season than...
we just miss out.
It'll be as opposed to last year where it was like... I'd rather finish bottom and get a good draft pick. So, I think we'll beat Hawthorn because I predict them to be close to wooden spoon this year. Hawthorn.
Yeah, I think so as well. I think
it'll be... I know Adelaide's not great, but North Melbourne... I was speaking to Trav, shout out Trav, and he said North Melbourne will be rubbish this year.
They'll be playing those games in they get sent to Shanghai for a few rounds.
Yeah.
Get them to China.
Let's do some predictions. Ooh. Who's going to win the flag?
Can't say Saints, can I? But, really tough.
I'm going to say outside. I've got a different one.
I'm going to say Brisbane.
Ooh. Interesting.
They've come close.
Yeah.
From real close.
My choice? Port Adelaide.
Ooh, okay.
And I'll tie with that. And the Norm Smith medal winner, which is the top goal scorer for everyone that doesn't know the Norm Smith medal, will be Charlie Dixon from Port Adelaide.
Right. Yeah, there we go.
So, yeah, feeling a bit of love for Port this year.
You are, aren't you?
Don't know why.
You're a closet Port fan?
Yeah, I don't know. I was impressed with them last year.
Right, yeah, I mean,
And they bottled... In my opinion, they bottled final.
They were everyone's pick to win last year.
They got home advantage and bottled it.
Yeah. And finals experience is massive. You know, they've got that finals experience a bit more now. Enough. So, yeah. Who knows? Saints have got... We're going away. We're going to GWS, which is a tough opening fixture.
And I've tipped Saints.
Have you? I haven't.
Have you not?
No. And I was quietly impressed with them in the pre-season game. I watched them in Carlton. It was a bit end-to-end, and it was a bit... You can tell it was very much a trial match. They're having a look. We're missing Max King. He's our big forward this weekend.
Got him with a golf ball.
You got him with a concussion from a golf ball.
Nice.
Fucking hell. I haven't tipped us. And it's not so much a slight, it is a slight in Saints. I just don't know. I think the first week, especially in the AFL, I think you've got it's different than other sports. Yeah. You know when you watch the Premier League, you know kind of how it's going to go.
Yeah.
There's one or two shot results. Open it for the teams in the AFL. I've got a monkey. I don't know what recruits they brought in. Don't know how. It's a long pre-season here, like longer than most other sports. Don't know what kind of condition they're in. GWS have been great over the last couple of seasons.
Did lose Cameron to Geelong.
They did lose Cameron to Geelong.
And Jai Caldwood to the Bombers. Up the Jai.
Up the Bombers. I haven't tipped us. I might come to regret it. It's nothing worse than when you don't tip and then they win. I haven't tipped us. We're going away. I think we might take a few games to find our stride. Again, it's a young team.
Yeah.
I fancy us this year. I think we'll make finals again. And you want to see us kick on. So we went there last year and we won a finals game. I guess now we've got to look to get into finals again.
Yeah.
And
step by step.
Yeah, look to win another final, see how we get on, compete in those finals. And I think we will get there, but I think it'll take us a couple of games to get into our stride. Mm-hmm. We'll see. What's your pick of the round this weekend? Is there any game you've got your eye on?
I think Collingwood Doggies will be...
That's what I wrote down.
Excellent.
Yeah, it's bound to be Friday night.
Yeah.
I'm guessing that's at the G.
Yeah, because those that don't know, in the off-season, there's been a lot of turmoil with Collingwood. And I think a lot of people are predicting them to really slide this year. I know they only made finals last year, but I think people are predicting them to slide. But it's all well and good saying that. And yeah, they look like, again, it's such a long off-season that, yeah, there's been a lot of negativity, a lot of turmoil, lost players.
Yep.
But then you still look at some of the players that they've got and you go, yep, still not bad.
Still a good unit, aren't they? And like you just said, the off-season's, it's a mad long pre-season here. Like, it starts way before Christmas.
Yeah, exactly.
And they don't play the first game till this weekend. What are we, mid-March?
Yeah.
They go back to pre-season start December.
When you've got a forward line like De Goey, Jamie Elliott, and Mason Cox.
Yeah, if you can keep them all fit, they're dangerous, yeah.
The interesting thing is Adam Treloar
Yeah, that was a bit weird. He's put Bulldogs now, isn't he?
So his first
and
game.
That was a bit rocky as well.
Yeah.
His exit wasn't happy, was he?
Buckley seemed to mention it was like very like financially driven or
Was
something.
it?
I don't know, but
getting him off the list. He probably was earning a bit.
But what an interesting debut that'll be.
And yeah, how fired up is he going to be?
Yeah, I know.
For the doggies. Who did you tip?
Doggies.
Fuck, I forgot. I think I tipped the doggies as well.
Yeah.
But I can't remember. I think I tipped the doggies.
They'll be top 4 this year.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah.
They're pretty good. I think the midfield is.
I feel like they're in a very similar spot to Saints in terms of they've got a good young team that are probably.
The midfield for me is so good.
Right.
Dunkley, who we was after for Essendon.
Yep.
Now they've got Trelaw, and they're not coming to mind at the moment, but I know the midfield.
What's his Bont, obviously.
Yeah, Bont, of course, yeah. So it's, for me, it's not bad.
The doggy. I've got a bit of a soft spot for the doggies. I don't know if that's all right.
I think a lot of people have since 2016.
2016, yeah. I could have been a doggies fan, you know. Could have been in another life.
Corey, mate, he tried.
I know, yeah, he did. I was on the bandwagon that year.
I could have been Richmond. That was the easy option, but no, I became a lifelong sufferer.
We choose the path less trodden, don't we?
Yeah.
Saints for me sins. Love it. Can't wait. Anyway, so yeah, footy kicks off this weekend. I'm made up. It's got so good. Now we got till September.
Yeah.
Footy every weekend.
Yeah.
Oh, so good. I guess we'll finish off on the Prem. We're about to take a bit of a hiatus, aren't we? But it's like a bit of is it 3 weeks of international?
Something like that, yeah.
I think we've got some European games in there. I guess you play this weekend. But aside from that, 3-week break, which for Liverpool probably comes at a fairly good time. We've left it off on like a decent note. For United, I think my question for you on this was, are you happy with where you've left off? You kind of scraped, a 1-0 win. It was an own goal as well, wasn't it? At West Ham. But you're still second. And there's only really Leicester that are kind of chomping at your heels, really. There's no one else really in touching distance.
I think we're still about 9 in front of Chelsea, I think.
Something like that. There's only Chelsea. Leicester, they're anywhere near you. You play in Europe tomorrow, so if you can get over Milan tomorrow, you're sitting pretty, aren't you? Really, coming into we got 9 games left. I think it's 9 games till the end of the season. You happy with where you sat? Happy with where you're at?
Yeah, I think yes. To be second in the league, you've got to be happy. Certainly in recent years, and I've been critical before. Obviously, the banana skins we keep having. The points that City are in front, we should be right on the heels. Like genuinely, we should be right on the heels.
Shoulda, woulda, coulda.
Yeah, no, that's what. But like, you look at the games and points that we threw away. Right. But I know it still keeps us second. I'm not saying we're better than Man City because we're not. But I'm just saying that the gap, although it seems good that second in the league. But then when you kind of analyse the fixtures where you throw points, you go, we could be like 2 behind them. It could be really close. And of course, they've got the squad. They've got, I'm not saying we can beat City, but West Ham game, listen, the result's most important. West Ham, they're a dangerous team this year. David Moyes has got them. What a perfect fit. I was very critical of him going back to West Ham a second time. I know it was.
Didn't we say he was going to be the first to be sacked?
Yeah. But he's actually got the way he's got them playing and the way he's set up with the type of plays he's got is like his prime Everton team where it's not easy, like they're always skirting in that time of Europe and top 6, top 7, top 8,
trying to make that next step.
And they're always there and they've got those your Antonios, you've got Declan Rice, a good player,
and on the day they cause everyone problems, don't they?
And he's kind of done a recruitment shift as well. Buying the kind of the championship talent and kind of like your Jared Bowen, your Ben Rama, as opposed to your cast off top 4, as in your Zabalettas and the high earner older players.
Yep.
So he's just got things going. So the game itself was a classic Moyes defensive display. So he set up to Old Trafford to get a point, not to win the game. It was just to get the point, which he was doing as the Man United manager at home. But anyway, the thing that I liked from Solskjaer, which is I've been critical of him in the past, is the way that the team was set up towards the end of the game. We kept going.
Yeah, right.
And we kept going, and we kept chasing them down, and we kept looking as if we were going to get a second. Solskjaer, a lot of this season, certainly against Milan, certainly in other fixtures, he'll shut up shop on 65, 70 minutes.
Yep.
And we'll concede so many late goals, like the Everton one, because you're just asking for that pressure.
You're inviting it onto.
Yeah,
right.
and we actually made no substitutions in that game.
Right.
It was surprising.
Yeah, interesting.
When you think Bruno and Rashford, they had a couple.
I guess he's not resting for it. Oh, I suppose
exactly.
he is actually. Well, he was because you've got Europe this weekend.
Exactly, but I think the thing with that is I think he was nervous on making a change because the concentration levels were so high.
Yeah, and
it was kind of like, I don't want to throw anybody in that's not on the.
Sometimes it's better not to make a change, isn't it?
Everyone seems to be dialed in here at the moment, so I don't want to throw somebody in.
Good in-game management, I suppose.
I would say.
Worked out well.
And then looking into Milan, Pogba's back in training, Cavani's back in training, David De Gea's back with because of the birth of his daughter. But Henderson, for me, he can't be
to keep his place.
I think he keeps his place, yeah. And then he was like, Solskjaer was saying, we've got Pogba back, we've got Cavani back, we've got De Gea back, we've got Van der Beek back. I'm thinking. Got Van der Beek back. Like,
was he been?
Yeah, exactly.
Shops.
But he's been injured. But I'm like, well, you don't play him when he's fit, so it's not really big news, is it?
No.
So
I'm having he's back.
Exactly. But the worry, as I said last week,
yeah,
Zlatan is declared fit.
Yes.
And there's we like a story in sport. We love a story, and you can bet that Zlatan will knock us out because I'm having sleepless nights thinking that Harry Maguire marking Zlatan Ibrahimovic.
It's not ideal, that is it?
Yeah. What I will say about Maguire is probably his best game for Man United against West Ham.
Right.
He was solid.
Right. Okay.
So I criticise him every week, but that was probably one of
his
better displays for me.
Okay.
Do
you think you'll beat Milan?
I'm gonna say it's gonna be 1-1 at their place, or the away fixture, wherever it's being played.
Neutral venue.
It's going to be overtime. It's going to be extra time, which what we don't need.
No.
And we're going to win on penalties.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Cool.
Because we've got a good 5. We've got our penalty taker. If you had 5 United players to take a penalty, some great options.
Yeah, you do actually.
So I think, and if Henderson's in net, he's more likely to save a penalty than De Gea is.
Yep.
I don't think he's saved one in about 5 years, De Gea. So,
who have you got your eye on in the next round? Anyone you want? I know we don't know who's gone through yet, but
yeah, bring it on. Whoever. I mean, yeah, I don't know. Our problem is how close do we get to the semi-final stage? And like you were saying earlier with St Kilda, now we've got to get to the next level. We've got to win a trophy now.
Yep.
You can't get to 4 semi-finals last year and
yeah, because that becomes the narrative then, doesn't it? It's like the perennial semi-finalists.
He's lost 4 semi-finals, Solskjaer. You've got to go to the next step. So bring it on, whether it's Rangers, whether it's Spurs.
Gerrard's Rangers.
Yeah. You've got to beat everyone. So
no, you do. Liverpool-wise, good result against Wolves. Good side. It was a good game. Mm-hmm. For me, the story coming out of it was our defensive partnership. 2 young lads, Kabak and Phillips.
Is Phillips going on the plane?
Might be. Get him in there. I remember Maguire at the back just heading stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
That's all we need to do, lads. Just head stuff.
Yeah, that's what Leicester won the Premier League with Huth and Morgan.
Yeah, it's the same thing. Huth and Morgan. Hats off to them because, we've had how many partnerships have we had this year? These now, I think, they might have the most. They might have the most minutes playing together, or at least it's very, very close to having the most.
3 games.
Yeah. 3 games, and that together tells you the story. Yeah. I've got a feeling they're the most minutes played together this year.
It's like 3 games, 3 clean sheets with that partnership.
3 clean sheets. They're only going to get better the more they play together.
Yeah.
They look good. It worked well. That they kind of knew each other's flaws and covered for it. Kabak knew that if Phillips went,
ball in behind, I've got to go.
Yeah, he's got to go because Phillips ain't getting back.
Yeah.
But then if Phillips was on the cover all the time and he wins his headers.
Yeah.
Every time the cross comes in, Phillips puts his head on it.
Yeah.
It was quite effective. I don't know, it's only Wolves, but the good side. We got the 1-0 win. Jota got the goal just on half time, and we just stuck it out.
How did Jota play?
Good, I think he's still finding his feet again. But having that goal, I think it will help. And it's good to have him back as well. I think obviously Firmino's been injured, and I wonder whether he'll come back in now, and we rest one of the others. Coming into the international break, so we haven't got a game now. That's us done. We're not in Europe now, so we've gone through, so we haven't got another game. So it'll be interesting to see who comes back from Europe in one piece and all that kind of stuff. Whether he kicks on, and I think you look now at this block of 9 games that we've got left. Anyone who doesn't go away with the international team, you just get them on the training pitch. What shape are we going to have for this last 9 games? Who have we got? Who's fit? What's the plan for this last 9 games? And for me now, with that win at Wolves, we've just got to keep putting wins together now. You look up at the table, now and it looks a bit grim. But you start to see there's light there. Fourth place is very unlikely, but if we need other people to start losing. Yeah. But if you look at the fixtures, everyone's playing each other.
Yeah.
Leicester and Chelsea playing each other. Arsenal going to play everyone. Villa, Tottenham. They're all playing each other. So, they're going to drop points. All we've got to do is keep putting wins on the board. Easier said than done. We're still less than full strength. Having Fabinho back in midfield is massive. And now it looks like Klopp can trust that back four. Yeah. He might maybe be found a set like, right, lads, you're the back four for the rest of the season.
Fabinho.
This is what we're doing. Fabinho's back in midfield makes such a difference. He's there to cover, there to help out. Front three is the front three. He needs to figure out what his best front three is. But having that ability to rotate a little bit, whether you bring Jota on to change the game, whether you bring Firmino on to change a game, we'll see. Mane's looked probably the least likely at the minute as well in terms of his output and what he's doing game to game. But he's Mane, still a great player. And if we could click into some kind of gear here, last 9 games, who knows? We're still in Europe as well.
Yeah. I didn't see the highlights of the Liverpool game, but one of the talking points coming out of it, I don't know how, I presume you watched the majority of the game. What were your thoughts on the delaying of the offside and the injury towards Rui Patricio with his head injury? So they're saying that because the play happened and Cody went into Rui Patricio, it was offside, but they didn't call offside, so the play carried on. Yeah. So it was needless. Yeah, it was a needless tackle. Like, if you don't blow early, you carry on playing, and then you go,
afterwards.
It's actually offside, and you go, I know it's a hindsight thing.
Hindsight's a wonderful thing, isn't it?
I know, but there's a lot.
It's interesting. It is an interesting point.
There's been a lot of criticism because it's happened earlier on in the season to saying if it's offside, just play offside.
Yeah,
just say offside.
But it shows that the liners are now not putting the flags up because they'll be like, it'll be pulled back in a minute. I don't have to make the decision almost right now. I'll let it play on. Yeah. And then they score. And then we have a look, and then it's offside. Yeah, it sucks, doesn't it? Because that's what's ruining the game in the terms of nobody celebrates because we don't know. And maybe this is another side to it where, by letting play go on, you're creating a needless situation, aren't you? Yeah. The liners should have, the trained to do a job, do your job. Don't rely on technology.
Exactly.
You call it.
And the season that we're having, I mean, not to say an extra 5 seconds or whatever is crucial, but the amount of players that are dead on the feet, and it's like an extra sprint, an extra such a thing. It doesn't seem a lot, but over a season, you're like, just call it.
If I'm off, just call off. Right.
Very true. Just sprinted for nothing.
Yeah. But the thing is, you see what would happen the other way around if they didn't call. So they do call it, and then VAR says it wasn't offside, and we could have scored. Everyone will be like, let it play on, ref. You know what I mean? It's the other way around. Yeah. The fact that you have this technology, you have to use it now. Yeah. You just got to get it right. Yeah, it's tough. Yeah. So the Champions League draws tomorrow, I think, Friday.
Anyone you've got your eye on?
It's one of those ones where you get to this stage and you look who's in there now. They're all tough. You're gonna have to play. You're gonna have to play them all, aren't you? Like, it's tough teams. If you're picking, the obvious answer I suppose is Porto. Yeah. We've got a good record there, but they've just beat Juve, so that's
exactly. That's Juve with Cristiano Ronaldo back.
Yeah, exactly.
With 10 men. In the last second, they played. Yeah. They had 10 men and went extra time. Yeah. They had a man sent off on 54 minutes. Right. So they've played an extra half an hour and extra time with 10 men. And still done it.
And they still see the most favourable side in there, which says a lot about the sides that are in there. I don't know, Madrid, but again, they look good. Went through this morning.
Benzema.
Yeah. There's no easy draws. I don't want City. It'd be shit to go out to them.
Although what I would say is, I'm always critical of Man City because it's a mental thing in the Champions League, and they bottle it. Yeah, you can beat them because I know they'll bottle it.
But they know how to play us, like this in terms of this season with the with a full squad. Yeah, no qualms. Right now, I wouldn't fancy us, to be honest with you.
Is it a throwback to mid 2000s and you get Chelsea? I think that's where your rival.
They look good. They beat Atletico this morning 2-0. Atletico, good side.
Throwback to the mid 2000s when you kept playing them. The whole Ghost goal. Yeah. I think that's where the hatred of Liverpool Chelsea came from.
Oh, massively, yeah.
Those Champions
League
that you had.
Yeah. Similar to what we've had the relationship with City over the last couple of years. mid 2000s, we had the same rivalry with Chelsea, didn't we?
Yeah.
Where we'd always meet in Europe.
Yeah. You got Chelsea, the dangerous City.
Don't fancy Dortmund.
Bayern.
Haaland, nah, thanks, mate. Don't want, well, yeah. But I mean, any of these teams, if you're going to win it, you're going to have to play them at some point. So I think for me, I just don't want to get beat by City. I just can't be arsed with that.
Yeah.
I'll take anybody else.
Yeah.
Not City. That's my 2 cents on that one.
Yeah.
And on that note, I think we'll call it. We'll wrap it up so we can get home for the footy. And you've got a game as well. Commissioner's got a game tonight. Yeah. Albert Park.
Throw back to the late 80s or 90s. A can before a game.
Yeah, right. Maybe on the Tetleys though. I think you've brought it into the modern Melbourne era. Proper craft Fixation Brewing. Yeah. Thank you, mate. Thanks to Fixation. Thanks to little Ray for keeping us, we'll say, hydrated. But
nearly choking me.
Yeah, no, you nearly killed the commissioner.
Yeah, exactly.
Starting to worry about Ray.
Exactly.
Thanks so much for tuning in. As always, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button if you don't want to miss whatever we've got coming up in the future. And yeah, we'll see you all next week. Take it easy.